everybody. Bedbug Guy here. Today we're going to have some fun, at least in my view. Anybody will tell you I have two passions that I love to talk about, and on my channel you'll know one of them is ancient Egypt. The other one is cats, specifically my cats, which I love to death, and I have 3 kittens, which I'm going to overload you guys with a bunch of adorable pictures of as I describe these in very distinct personalities that I have adopted into my household. Now, I'm doing this video for a couple reasons. Bear with me. One is I need to generate some watch hours, and cats rule the internet. Two, I apologize for some of the background noise. I'll try to reduce it, but it's a little windy on the porch today. But we're here to look at cat pics, so shouldn't be that big of a deal. I'm not here to put you to sleep. But I would be remiss if I did not go over just a little bit of cat history very briefly before we get into the cute pics. Well, domestic cats, right now they're pretty sure they originated somewhere in the Middle East around 10,000 years ago. The first evidence of domestic cats as pets is actually on Cyprus, rather shortly after. Now, the ancient Egyptians loved cats. They were a cat culture, and probably the reason we are such a cat culture today. They started by domesticating the African wildcat about 4,000 years ago. They revered them as divine, magical, and protective, not necessarily worshipped as gods, but representative of certain gods, and the gods loved them too. Now, why did the Egyptians like having them around and keep them as pets and companion animals? Well, the first thing is I'm going to tell you as a cat person, there's nothing better after a hard day of work than coming home and cuddling with a miniature apex predator, a vicious killer that loves you and loves the fact that you feed them. Plus, they're decorative, they play, they're constant sources of entertainment. But in the case of ancient Egyptians, primarily they loved having them around for pest control. They were very effective at pest control. They killed snakes and scorpions, and they were very effective in keeping rodents out of the granaries, much like today. Now, they were so revered and loved, they would be mummified and buried with their former owners. Then, if your cat passed away before you did, ancient Egyptians would shave their eyebrows to mourn the passing of their beloved feline companions. Also, since the gods loved them, to curry favor with the gods or ask for a favor, they would wholesale sacrifice them and mummify them and give them as offerings. Not the great part of ancient Egypt, but it was part of their religion. Now, first, I want to, before I get into the kittens, I want to pay tribute to my bestest friend of over 20 years, Snowball. He had passed away in 2021, and it hit me hard. That was my best friend. He came when his name was called. He could open doorknobs. Just a big, interesting cat. He made me spoon him at night when I went to sleep, and when he purred in the bed, it was like laying down with a motorcycle. Just a great cat. So that hit me pretty hard. So I went for a few years without cats or a dog, because Max had passed away as well. And I got a call one day in April of 2023 from a friend of mine who works at another pest control company that's licensed to trap cats and relocate them. And she said her company had relocated a cat from a farm. They had asked the company come remove it because it was killing birds. They didn't mind having the cat on, but it was being a pain with the birds. So they came and trapped the cat and relocated it. The next morning, the owners of the farm found 3 little female kittens that were only a couple weeks old. So she called me and asked if I would take them in, and of course I would. All my cats have been orphans. Snowball and his sister I got from under a house. I recommend, if you want a cat, they're great animals. Humane Society's got a bunch of them that you can go down and adopt. They need homes. They'll make life interesting. They're low maintenance, as long as you're not allergic to them. They're really pretty good animals to have around the house. Highly decorative. So I end up with these 3 little kittens. One was a small silver tabby looking short hair tiger stripe, and the other 2, I don't know what they are, tiger striped and virtually identical as kittens. Now, being only a couple weeks old, their eyes had just opened. The vet said they were in great shape. Asked how many of them I was going to keep, and I said all 3. So I had to feed them from bottles for about a week and a half until I could get them over to solid food, which they took to right away, except for these little orphans don't like cheap cat food, as it turns out. So they will only eat top of the line stuff. I've tried to switch them off, no matter the flavor. Only top of the line stuff for these discerning palates. Now, eating solid food when it started out used to wear them out. As you can see, they would sleep right there at the food plate. Then they would go play with each other or play with toys. Just the cutest little things. Sleeping together just brings a whole lot of joy in the house when you have a couple kittens. Trust me. So now we'll talk about them individually. The first one is Monkey. She is more or less a short hair silver tabby. A little side note here. I put profiles for them on Chewy in 2023, and I didn't name the cats, but my wife named her Monkey because she's a daredevil. And Christmas of 2024, Chewy ran an ad where they were talking about a cat named Monkey, which I thought was coincidence. Now, I don't think many people have a cat named Monkey, but if you do, let me know in the comments. Now, Monkey, she loves her sisters. She is always happy for whatever reason. And built like a Siberian tiger. I mean, this cat is small, but just packed with muscle. You pick her up and she's surprisingly heavy for her size. Probably from all the curtain climb and whatnot. Now, cats usually take on an occupation in your home. Monkey is the kitchen manager. She will supervise from on high to make sure you're cooking correctly. She makes sure you're washing the dishes correctly. She will observe from any point of view to make sure you're doing everything absolutely perfect. And she also takes inventory, as it turns out. Very handy cat to have around. Now, the next cat is Hobbes. Yes, I know they're all female. My son named this one Hobbes in honor of the Calvin and Hobbes comics. Now, Hobbes is, oddly enough, my favorite. She's the affectionate one, the talkative one. Very cute. It took a couple months before the markings really developed that you could tell her apart from her other sister. But her primary job in the house is package inspector and lover. Also, she Notice is playing with a laser pointer, but not the dot. She was more interested in the pointer itself. What can I say? Now, according to the shorts, the third one, Coco, is the most popular. And yes, she is gorgeous, but by far the most interesting of the three. First of all, she is lightning fast. She wants to beat you everywhere, and she will give you a head start. Very playful, and a skilled hunter. Her job is box inspector. She also runs surveillance and security. She is always on guard, and a master of stealth, if you will. Now, these three cats, as they've grown up, get along famously. They take turns sleeping on top of each other or sleeping together. But one thing I want to point out is Coco and Hobbes, and especially Coco, have tails that I have never seen on a cat like this before. And there should be a picture of Monkey and Coco right next to each other, and you can see this vast difference in the tails. And I have a picture of all three. When Coco and Hobbes walk, they have their tails up and the hair just comes off. It looks like an ostrich feather when they walk down the hall. Now, I've heard that some people say that it looks like they may have Maine Coon in them. Maybe Coco more than the others. I don't know. If you have any idea, please let me know in the comments. Once again, thank you for stopping by to check out my kittens. I would appreciate a subscribe if you give it to me. If you like ancient history, great. If you like cats, great. My whole goal is just to fulfill the minimum requirements to do live streams. I've got some buddies across the world who are in ancient history and have some great conversations. Also, enough cat people get in there. We'll do some lives maybe once a month where we can talk about cats and show cat pictures from everybody. I would love it. I know a lot of other people would love it too. So, that being said, enjoy the cat video. Thank you for stopping by, and hopefully I'll see everybody next time. Bye-bye.